So go ahead and do your thing as we step in. Cameras are flickering, glasses are tingling, champagne I'm sipping. What's up, everybody? It's Talisha on Sister Girl Radio on IntellectualRadio.com. Thank you for tuning in. I have my guest with me. To my left is Krishana.
Hi, everybody.
Krishana, would you like to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a mom of three, a working mom of three. I'm just out here trying to make sure my boys stay alive in this crazy city we live in.
Well, praise the Lord, saint. And to my right, I have Khadijah. Would you like to tell them a little about yourself for the new viewers that didn't tune in last week?
Hello, everybody. My name is Khadijah. I am a mental health therapist, and I'm just really happy to be here.
Okay, so let's just jump right into it. So this week, I have a topic that's kind of near and dear to my heart that I want to talk about. I think we'll go the whole hour, but I want to start off with a quote, and then we'll go into my topic. This is a quote by Bob Marley. He said, "The biggest coward is a man who awakens a woman's love with no intention of loving her." End quote. I guess he didn't just smoke weed. He had some intelligent things to say. So my topic is labels will save your life. How y'all feel about how do y'all like that? Interesting.
That's a great topic.
Let's dig into this.
Let's do it.
The labels will save your life.
They sure will.
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot it over here to the right, see how Khadijah wants to feel about it. Then I'll take my turn and we'll go over to Krishana.
Oh wow.
I like putting you on the spot.
I see, and I think you should start because it's your topic. Because it's your topic.
It's my show. I said you start.
Oh wow.
No, I'm just joking. You want me to start?
Because it's your topic. I want to feed off of what you had to say.
Okay, y'all I'm gonna take the whole hour. I feel like, and a lot of people disagree with me, but I feel like marriage and relationship is a business, kind of in a sense. So when you're in a business, you have a title, you have a label. And with every title and label, there's different responsibility. So I think a lot of men don't like to give you that title or label because it comes with a different responsibility. If you're just friends with benefits and you're wifey, there's different situations and circumstances they have to abide to on those different levels. If you're a fry cook at McDonald's, you're a fry cook at McDonald's. Your paycheck will reflect that. If you're a CEO at McDonald's, you're a CEO at McDonald's, and your paycheck will reflect that. So I think men like to keep you with that same title, but they like the responsibilities that come with it if you act differently. So that's what bothers me. If we're doing different things, a woman is not crazy if they inquire, well, what are we doing here?
Sure.
But they like to say, well, let's just go with the flow. What does that mean? What does go with the flow mean?
Whatever happens at that point in time.
If you're at your job, and Krishana.
Yes.
By the way, this is my cousin. So
hi.
If you're at your job, and we know how you are.
Okay.
And they start putting too much responsibility on you, you gonna either say my pay needs to raise or my title needs to change. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
So that's the same thing in a relationship. If we go from one extreme to another, two things need to change. The responsibilities and the circumstance and the title need to change. You can't keep me as the fry cook, but I'm doing accounting, payroll, closing at night. You can't do that and still paying me that same $675. You can't do that. That's the same thing in a marriage or relationship. If my responsibilities change and my situation is changing on my titles and duties in this circumstance, then everything needs to change. Men don't want to do that because guess what? Now you can't be at Endless Apps at TGI Fridays with Keisha. And I'm not trying to be funny, right? Because if we just friends with benefits and I see you with Endless Apps, all I can say is, what's up?
I agree with
that.
But
if we girlfriend, boyfriend, it's going to be some text messages, some furniture moves. It's going to be a lot of circumstances in this TGI Friday. So that's what I'm saying. So I think a lot of men like to say, just go with the flow or just roll with me. And that's not sufficient. So what do you feel about that, Khadijah?
I agree. So I agree with everything that you just said. This for me speaks close to my heart because I've been affected by the whole label thing. And I think it kind of speaks to what I was talking about last week when we were talking about the feminine oppression. What you just said is men won't give you the title. Why do we always have to look to men to give us the title? I think that when we enter into a relationship, we have expectations, and we don't always let those expectations be known up front. As women, we stand in the background, and if we like the guy, we've already got it figured out in our heads. Okay, this is going somewhere. I can see myself with this man long term, but can he see himself with you? And we don't have those conversations. We don't ask those questions. So like you said, if my job coming into this relationship is to be on fries, why do we start making the burgers? Why do we jump to being a cashier? Why do we start closing up at night when we haven't had the conversation that your role has changed? We do this as women and expect that, oh, if I'm doing all these things, well, now I'm making the burgers, now I'm making the fries, I'm closing up at night, I'm doing all these things, then he's going to see me as long term. And that's not true. He's going to take whatever he can take. At this point in time, you're giving him everything for free, and you haven't even established that we are in a relationship. So that's my point to it.
Lord help me. Krishana.
Well, I'm on the fence about it. I'll say that. Me personally, I don't look for titles. I'm my own woman. Anything that a male can do, I can do. So I don't necessarily look for titles. However, I also believe if there's what's discussed in the beginning, this is what's understood. So if I'm going the extra mile, that's on me. That's not what was addressed in the beginning of the meeting, the first meeting, if that's what you want to call it. But you can't. I understand your point, and I agree with your point when you say if you got me doing fries, burgers, or however many other jobs, yes, you have to come to me with more than what I'm coming to you with. I totally agree with you on that. But however, I just don't believe that you need a title to define the relationship. I don't believe that at all.
I disagree with you. I think you do need a title, especially in this day and age. And I hate to say this, maybe it's like, in my experience, it's always been dealing with Black men. Mm-hmm. That's the men that I date. That's who I'm attracted to. Outside of my race, when I see other couples, there doesn't need to be a definition. But for some reason, with Black men, it seems like there has to be like this definition. Let me give you a case point, an example. Mm-hmm. So I'm grown. I've been in many, many relationships. I know when this is just a relationship that's strictly sex, and I know when this is a relationship that is moving on somewhere. Okay. I had a really good friend that he was my, cuddy buddy. And we were friends for a long time, for maybe over 10 years or whatnot. And when he would come over, we knew what it was. He would text me, he would come over, we would talk about what was going on in life or whatnot, because he's a very intelligent guy. I love intelligent men, by the way. So we would talk and we would get it in. We didn't go out. In the beginning, we did. We went out, we dated for a minute, and then we decided that this is the lane that we were in. But we had a discussion up to that point that this is what we're doing, this is where we're at, we're just dating. And then we went into this is strictly, physical at this point in time. And so that was it. And I understood that there was no love lost. I didn't call him on the phone. I wasn't crying. I wasn't like, where are we at? What are we doing? Because we had an understanding. And he was just an amazing individual. And he didn't lead me on. He didn't lead me to believe that this was something more than what it was. Now, I would say a couple of years ago, I got into a relationship with a guy that came after me, told me he wanted to see where this went. Me and this man were together every single day, almost 6 days out of the week or whatnot. He was coming over to my house. I was cooking. I'd go to his house. He'd feed me. He'd take care of me. We were going out. We were going on dates. We did a whole lot of things. Went to a wedding together for Halloween. He asked me who I was dressing up as, and I told him, and he went and got the matching costume. I didn't even have to ask him. Mm-hmm. And then 5 months later, he tells me we were never together. We were never in a relationship. And that's why labels will save your life. How are we never in a relationship when you came after me and told me you wanted to see where this goes? What does seeing where this goes mean? To me, that means that you want to date me. You want to date me exclusively. And we were doing things that you would do exclusively together. There was an understanding. I wasn't dating other people. He wasn't dating other people. And then for you to tell me 5 months later that we're not together, that I knew what this was. He never told me he loved me. He never, we were never really in a relationship. I'm sorry. Am I crazy?
Well, he told you, let's see where this goes. This is where it went. We were never in a relationship.
That's BS. I'm
that's
sorry.
what I mean by when I saying titles don't save your life. Titles don't identify you as an individual. You are who you are. You're going to be who you're going to be. I don't believe marriage changes a person. If you're stressing to an individual you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, I've been there where you are as well. But I also understood that this man goes home to his woman every day he been with for 20 years. We're doing everything that I feel they should be doing. We're doing together. So who's getting the short end of the stick, me or her? You know,
but at least you understood that he had someone on the side.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
He explained
this
that
man
to
did
you.
not.
Let's see where this
okay,
goes.
but this man did not have a woman on the side. Seeing where this goes for me means that you want to date me exclusively. That's where seeing where this goes means for me.
Absolutely.
So do we need to dumb it down? Do we need to have flashcards and say, okay, see where this goes means I just want to stay in the moment with you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I want to be with you. Us being exclusively together, doing all the things that couples do, doesn't mean that I want to be with you. It just means that in the moment, I'm just having a good time. I mean, that makes no sense to me at all, because let me tell you, my other friend, and I've dated other dudes as well, we have an understanding. We have this understanding clear cut. I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm not in one. What we're doing right now is we're just kicking it. When we're just kicking it, then I'm kicking it with other people. And I'm not saying I'm sleeping with a whole slew of people. And I think that's what happens to women, is that we've been taught to put all our eggs in one basket. You know, your hoo-ha is like the sacred playground for only one person. You're supposed to give it, keep it sacred for this one man. And that's BS, because we're sexual beings. We are sexual human beings. So when we put our eggs into one basket, what happens is that let's see where this goes ends up being your only exclusive. And so I developed feelings for this man because I felt like he was on the same page as I was on the same page. Again, I'm grown. I know when it's cutty time. I know when it's serious time. And I don't give myself to people seriously. So for me to done that, he was showing me everything that said, this is where this is going. But when I think to Talicia's point, I felt we should have had a discussion, maybe a label. If he had said, okay, you know what, at this point in time, we are just dating. At this point in time, I see you as my girlfriend. I feel like that would have saved my life.
Absolutely. And go ahead, Krishana.
So did you explain that in the beginning? I mean, him
yes.
doing that, okay,
yes.
And he said, let's see where this goes.
Yes.
Your response was, okay, that means to me we're in a relationship.
No, again, I didn't say that we were exclusive, like we were in a relationship. Mm-hmm. I just said we were exclusively dating at that point in time. It was a little complex, and I can't really get into the complicated whatever of it. But him and I had talked to each other for about 10 months prior to this. Okay. He knew where I was coming from. I told him the type of woman that I was. And so he knew. And in the beginning, don't get me wrong, I sexualized him. I said I was just going to, he's going to be my new cutty buddy. Right. Because for me, I don't just jump from one relationship to the next. It had been like a year and a half before I had been with someone. I was actually celibate, not by choice, but I just didn't find anybody. I didn't find anyone that, was intellectual, that did it for me.
They weren't on IntellectualRadio.com.
They weren't on IntellectualRadio.com. That's right. So when I met this man, he blew my mind. He blew my mind away. He actually came to my house. We sat in the car for like 5 hours and just talked and just had a great conversation. And I was like, wow, he's on the next level. Like, he actually blew my mind. He's very intelligent. Okay. And so things changed for me at that moment, and things changed for him at that moment because he saw the same in me. Mm-hmm. And so after that, he pursued me. He came after me again and said, let's see where this goes. Like, I want to be with you. He's like, I can't stop thinking about you. I want to see where this goes. I'm with you. And for the next 5 months, he showed me just that every single day.
And that goes back to this quote.
Yes. Labels
about not my title of the show. This quote. It's a coward. Yes. Because he knew that he was arising something in you.
Yes.
When he said to you, let's see where this would go.
Yes, they're not stupid.
That was a communication and a conversation that he brought to you and sat down to you, making you think we're going to lead this somewhere and go somewhere. So he is bringing up something in you that's different besides just a cutter buddy.
Exactly.
So that was being a coward. And they use that when we wasn't together when it's convenient.
Exactly.
But they want the benefits.
Yes.
They love the benefits. And I have to chime in on what Krishana said a while back. It is your choice. And we as women, as much as we try to pretend like we're okay with the friends with benefits, mm-hmm. and we've all done it.
Yeah.
But some of us have a heart, Krishana, and most women don't mean that. They start off like that, mama, where's daddy? But then eventually somebody gonna start catching feelings. 10 months in, you know, he took you to that one movie, he bought you that, you know, that 2-for-1 at Walgreens, and now, you know, you on Instagram in love and posting dinners and stuff like that. I'm just being honest with you. Like it's something that we do in our mind that, and she's right, we try to prove ourselves. Back to what I said about a job. The fry cook, he start picking up the mop, or he'll start staying a little extra after his shift. Why? Because he wants to be promoted. We do the same thing in relationships. Khadijah started getting up cooking. Khadijah started, you know, putting them red bottoms on and looking hot when she went out on date. We do. We as women and men do. We step it up. They order the flowers. They do that. Why? Because they want to be promoted. Same thing. That's why when people say it's not like a business. It's definitely like a business.
It sure is.
And if I'm going to be promoted or demoted, it needs to be a conversation. At the interview, I did apply for a fry cook at the interview, but that don't mean that's where I want to stay.
Well,
that don't mean out for the next 30 years I want to fry fish. I'm just trying to get in. I'm just being real.
I agree with you.
I'm just trying to get in.
I agree with you, Talisha.
We too
I really
old
do.
for that. That's something that my god baby generation, Snapchat baby, do. We too old at 30 plus to be going out and doing these meaningless dates and relationships. We too old for that.
Exactly. I agree with you.
What, you gonna be at the retirement home sharing Jello with 4 girls? Come on now, step it up. But
I agree with you.
That's why it's called communication.
That's right.
But the coward part, and women do it too, you know this man likes you. You know she got up and fixed that breakfast. Khadijah can cook. I've had it. It's very good. I told her I'd marry her if I went that way. But hey.
Thanks, babe.
So when she started doing a little extra, you knew. You're not blind. You're a man. You in your 30s. You know when a woman is trying to put in effort. And if you have no intention of making it more, fire her.
That's right.
Let her go. Don't give her the option.
That's right.
Don't try to modify it, because you know in her mind it's just a matter of time how she's going to bring it up again. You know how we are. Mm-hmm. We are women that bring it up again. We'll wait a couple months and lie and wait, but we're going to bring it up again. Fire her. Give her walking papers. Look, I know what you want, and right now that's not where I want to be.
You're saying that should be addressed in the beginning, or should that be addressed when the feelings are starting to be caught?
Both. Even if as a man you already know, I will give men this. They can separate it better than us. I'll give them that. They can, for some reason, they can separate it better than us. Not saying men don't catch feelings, because they do and they hide it. But they can. I think they can separate it better than us. That's me personally, right?
I agree with you.
But what I'm saying is at the beginning it can start off one way, but as we progress or things change, it needs to be a conversation.
I agree with you.
Up the ladder and down the ladder.
Who should address that?
The woman and the woman. Both of us. Okay, let me say something. So let me go back to this relationship, that so-called relationship that was not, relationship.
You don't have to keep saying so-called.
I'm just saying so-called.
In your mind.
In my mind, in my mind. So in the middle of the relationship, I felt like I felt him pulling away. You know, I'm very perceptive. And so I asked him, we were laying in bed one night, and I asked him, and I said, okay, what's going on? Because he actually had an ex-girlfriend that he had recently hooked up with. They hadn't been together, in a while. And then he had recently whatever. And he was honest with me about everything, but they were no longer doing all those things. That's when he came after me, I'm no longer doing this with this person. I only want to be with you. Okay. So, and let's say maybe 2.5, 3 months into the relationship, I asked him, we were laying in bed one night, and I said, okay, so what's going on with you and the ex? Because I'm a woman. Anytime a woman sees you, she don't want you, right? But when she sees you with another woman and then y'all get right back together, or y'all do something together, oh, she's marking her territory. She's peeing on you, basically, to show that, this other woman is not going to come in between. So I asked him, I said, well, what's going on? And he was like, nothing, we're just friends, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. I was like, so what is going on with us? And then at that 3-month mark, he was like, well, I'm not ready to be in a relationship. I don't want to be with anybody like that. And I said, oh, okay. So you don't want to be with anybody. You don't want to be in a relationship. So what we're doing here, we're just dating at this point in time. You don't want to. He's like, yes, that's what it is. And I said, okay, I think we should see other people. Because for me, I'm one of those women that I can separate sex from my feelings. I can do that very, very well. If we have a conversation in the beginning and we say, this is what we're doing, that means I'm not going out to dinners with you. That means I'm not going to game shows with you. I'm not going to, weddings with you. We're not dressing up as couples for Halloween. We're not doing all these things that promote that. What we're doing is it's strictly sex. That's what it is. So we can be friends and have a conversation, like me and my guy, like I said, over 10 years. And I still love this dude. The only reason why me and him are not friends anymore is because he got married. And every time there's still that strong connection. Every time we see each other, it's going down.
Right.
So we just kind of separate from each other in that sense, because he is married, and I respect that. So, but what I'm saying is that, so I can separate the two. So he told me that, and I said, okay, fine. I think we should see other people. Do you know he got upset?
Of course.
Where we didn't speak for like a whole week because he got upset. Then he switched it around. He did that switcheroo where he's like, well, I don't know if you're seeing other people already. You probably are. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just trying to say, if we're not going to be, if that's not what you want, I get that. But we need to see other people because I'm already catching feelings, and I need to be able to separate those feelings in order to, he's like, well, I don't want you with anybody else. I don't blah, 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 blah. And that was my fault, because when he said, I don't want you with anybody else, I took it as, oh, he just wants to be with me. No. He still didn't want to be with me.
He just didn't
want me to be with anybody else. But in my mind, I was like, well, why is he getting so upset? If he really didn't care about me, then he wouldn't be getting this upset. And then he wouldn't be saying, no, he just didn't want, any other man to have me. That's really what it was at that point in time.
Right.
So if he had said at that point in time, like, listen, I still don't want to be in a relationship, but I don't want you to be with anybody, then I could have told him to, go
black kite.
Exactly. Go walk into a lake and drown slow, basically.
Yeah.
I could have told him that. Yeah.
That's because men want you to be in their rotation, but they refuse to be in yours.
Mm-hmm.
Men are that's just how men are. Like, oh my God, I don't want. I've heard that from a lot of men. Like, oh, you can't be dating anybody else. Well, a favorite quote from my friend here: "Don't put all your eggs in one basket," because we as women, we do that.
Yes,
we're all guilty of it. Well,
yes.
Me and Khadijah probably are. Cousin has no heart, but me and Khadijah are.
Wow, and, I do have a heart.
You are coming for her today.
For her children. Excuse me. Sorry. So because what was I saying? Because I believe that they don't want you to be in their you can't have them in your rotation. So if they find out you're dating, it's who, what, why, when, and where.
Right.
But as long as you Tuesday night, and you Tuesday night.
Tuesday and Thursday. You
like every Thursday when the Cosby Show came on. That's fine. But don't let them find out that they're in yours, because then it's a major problem. Like she said, she wanted him to be exclusive on her end. Because in her heart, as women can tell,
sure,
we noticed somebody else was involved in the situation. I have a comment here from Desmond Johnson on Facebook. He said that men are just better at hiding their feelings.
No,
I don't think that's true.
I totally disagree. And it goes back to what both of you ladies were saying. Men are more sensitive than women.
Yes.
Men cannot separate feelings from sex. It's no way possible.
Well, no,
they are sexual beings just like we are as women. You cannot. At some point as women, we know, just like you said, Khadijah, you felt him pulling away.
Yeah.
He let you know in the beginning, let's see where this goes. So to me, I mean, as a woman, I would think that, okay, this is not something that's possibly long term. Once it gets to this certain point, certain things needs to be addressed. And Talisha, I do have a heart. I have 3 sons. So
I said for your children.
And
I said what I said.
No, meaning they have to grow up and become men and treat women. And I always tell my son, never lead a woman to believe something that it's not. Never believe, and men do that for their own selfish reasons.
Yes,
they do that.
So they're cowards,
as you say, to keep.
I'm sorry.
You're on Thursday schedule. You're in rotation on Thursday. You're in rotation on Tuesday. Now, this is why I say they cannot separate the two, because, like you said, once they find out they're in your rotation, it becomes a huge problem.
Absolutely,
it becomes a huge. And my number one saying: What's understood don't have to be explained.
But I disagree with that.
I do too.
That's our problem. We
cannot-
don't explain what needs to be understood. And that's why she's thinking one thing in her mind and he's acting a different way.
But as
because
women,
you can't just let the circumstance just be.
As women, agree or disagree, as women, we have an intuition. We know when something is not going right.
Yes.
We know.
Yeah.
So at that point, when you know, and once you get that feeling, there's no going back. There's no going back. Once you get that feeling, oh, it's something. It's going that feeling is going to lead to A, going through the phone, B, going stalking them down, B, tracking them down, whatever the case may be, because he's not giving you the truth you feel you deserve. But that's when you as a woman have to trust yourself and say, okay, this ain't it.
But at what point do you communicate
when you feel
that?
it? When you feel it.
So I want to say something, and not in regards to that, but what you said about men not being able to separate their feelings, not being able to separate sex from emotions, that's not true. I know a lot of men, actually, this is what I do for a living, and speaking to men can actually separate their emotions from sex. Sex for men, that's why men cheat. Because sex for men is just sex. It's not about love. It's not about emotions. It's not that I love this person. It's just that I want to stick my penis into a vagina. That's really what it's about. So I was walking my dog the other day. My dog, he's a Yorkie. He's a big Yorkie. Hey, Dolce. And
Lord.
I was walking him, and my dog likes to, I noticed one thing is that he likes to sniff flowers. And then when he sniffs them, he pees on them.
He needs to be neutered, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait a minute, but this is real life. And I was like, wait a minute. He likes to sniff flowers, and then he pees on them. And I can relate that to men. Men are the same way. They just want to sniff our flower, pee on it, and keep it moving. That's really what it is. I'm not joking. That's really what it is. So it's not about emotions for them. It's not about, I want to be with this person. It's all about the sexual act is about the sexual act. They can have sex and then walk away and never call you later. Women, we think about it in a different way. And that's because of, again, how we've been conditioned. We have been conditioned to believe that, we should only be with one person. We can't be sexual beings. It's that oppression that I was speaking to last week.
I completely agree with Khadijah. My point is just back to what I said at the beginning. Those labels, those titles, and I get what you're saying. When certain things are going on, hold on one second. I'm gonna take a caller real quick. Thanks for calling Sister Girl Radio. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Desmond Johnson from Facebook.
Hi, Desmond. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. What's your question?
It wasn't really a question. It was a comment.
Okay.
It was about men can't separate their feelings from sex.
Okay.
It's more about it's not about catching feelings. It's more about a pride thing.
More
it has pride. So on the receiving end of like a female doing the same thing that we've been doing, like our pride steps in and we don't want that done to us. But when we're the ones doing it, it's just like we can separate our feelings from sex.
Right. Okay. So how do you feel about what we were saying as far as when things change in a relationship, it should be a conversation? How do you feel about what we were saying when things change in the relationship, it should be a conversation?
It should definitely be a conversation. Because at the end of the day, like, you should always know your partner's feelings are. And if you feel that they feel one way and they're feeling a completely different way, yeah, they should definitely express that to you in any situation, whether it be the man or the female.
Absolutely.
I agree. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Desmond, for your opinion. We appreciate you calling in.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Desmond.
Mm-hmm. You have a good day. Bye-bye. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Thanks, Desmond. Back to what I was saying, what I kind of do agree with what she's saying as far as we do know. And like you said, you could tell when things were being pulled away. Sure. And that's why in the bed that night, you couldn't rest because you wanted to know what was going on.
Exactly.
So I don't care what I see. I don't care how I feel. I still need to know.
That's right.
Period. And it doesn't have to be repetitive because I repeat things a lot, and I think it just has to go to sometimes my insecurities. You don't have to. Somebody made a joke to me one time. make sure he signed a contract. And you know what? I'm going to make sure you sign a contract. Yeah, you're going to sign this contract. You know why? Because guess what? It's binding. And if you're a man, when you say something, mean what you say and say what you mean. Yeah. Women too, but we don't, nobody here, we date men, so there you go. So mean what you say and say what you mean. So if you want things to change, be vocal about it. I shouldn't always have to feel something. I'm not Cleo. I'm not going to sit here and read your mind and feel vibes all the time. Krishana, are you hungry? Yes, I'm hungry. I don't have to go off a feeling all the time. It's okay to open your mouth. This is somebody you're giving your body to. You can't give anything more than your body to somebody. So this is somebody you laying down, and your heart. And this is somebody you laying down, giving your soul to. Why we can't have a conversation about what's going on?
You can
just want thing to be like a mime. Just being there, just
you can have a conversation.
Like,
what are we doing today?
Like cue cards. I mean, Krishana.
I guess I'm on that. That's why I said in the beginning, I'm on the fence because I can be 100% committed to you. I'm riding with you. I'm that girl. I'm this. I'm that. I can be that. But once you bore me, whether I'm your babe, your boo, your love, your sweetheart, your whatever, I'm gone. I just feel like it's a title cannot.
We need to have a session.
Right, I'm booking you time with the therapist after this. You need an hour.
I just can't.
I told you I don't have no heart.
Once I'm bored, I just feel like if you are a man and you're interested in me and I express to you and I explain to you, look, this is the type of individual I am. If you're the type of woman that has to have it every day, or you have to go out to the mall once a week, or you need to go, your spa treatments come once every 2 weeks, you know, and he can't do that. Are you not going to find somebody that can? Are you going to define yourself to one person for the rest of your life, or look for a title for the rest of your life? And once you got him, he's doing everything. Y'all done this 5 years. All of a sudden he changed and not going back. It's going to become a problem. Either A, you're going to go look for somebody else that going to do that, or B, you're going to continue to be miserable and it's going to be an all-out fight, war, argument, or whatever. So
was that a direct question?
I'm just asking. Are you not going to go find someone else that can satisfy your every? Well, I guess the question is, when we
say, like 10 questions. In it is. Pick one.
I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Okay, pick one direct question.
Yeah. Is there one man on this planet that can satisfy your every need?
Okay. I believe there is.
I don't.
Okay, so for me, I can answer that question. I think that goes to a question that a lot of people ask is, are we monogamous by nature? No, we're not. We are society basically, we conformed to being monogamous. And back in the day, that wasn't the case. And I can't speak to the time I'm talking about, but people were having, sex with multiple partners, all these things. And that's how like religion came about to kind of curb some of those ways. But I'm stepping off into a segment here. So yes, we're not monogamous by nature, but we've learned to conform. I agree with you. I don't think that there's that one man that can satisfy your every need, just like there's not that one woman that can satisfy your every need.
And I believe that's why men cheat.
But I don't believe that that's the case. I think that you can have a mutual satisfying relationship with someone that is long-term, that's 30 years, that's 50 years, and be with that person and know that you're not going to, no one is perfect. So if you know that no one is perfect, you're not going to get everything that you want from that person. And that goes to the Tyler Perry movie where he's the 80-20 rule. Mm-hmm. Most of the time you're going to get 80% out of someone. And if you can get 80% out of someone, you are winning, because if that person puts your needs first and you put their needs first, and you guys are mutually doing things to grow together and also to help, to increase the satisfaction of the relationship, then I believe that, yes, you can have that harmonious relationship and be happy for 30 plus years. I think what happens is that people grow apart. People decide that, hey, I no longer want this, and they don't speak up about it. Or my partner is no longer, maybe my partner's gained 5 pounds and I don't find her attractive anymore. I don't find him attractive anymore. Mm-hmm. And no one speaks to that. And so when you say getting bored in a relationship, I want to speak to that. I agree with you that, sometimes the relationship is not as stimulating as it once was. But I think that's what marriage is about. It's like, it's not that easy to walk away. There's going to be bad times and there are going to be good times in relationships, but most people want to bail when there are bad times in the relationship. And so I don't know.
I bail.
Okay, well, let me put you guys on hold. We have a caller. Thanks for calling Sister Girl Radio. Who's calling?
This is Siobhan from Facebook. I'm sitting here watching you. This is so hilarious.
What is your comment, sir? Thanks for watching.
What I'm going to say is about all men cheat.
Okay.
No, all men do not cheat.
I agree with that.
I agree.
But we do have a cheating spirit.
Amen.
Cheating spirit.
We think it, but we may not continue on with it.
Women do
You
too,
know,
sir.
Yes, I'm single right now. I would love date season, but
Oh, this is not the love connection. This is intellectual radio.
Don't block my blessings.
we do, all men do not cheat. I know a lot of good faithful brothers out here, but we think about it, trust me, you may see somebody that walk past you, have a good woman at home, and you be like, dang, if I wasn't married, or if I didn't have this woman at home, yeah, I will want to leave her. But you don't continue on with it.
Right.
That's all I have to say. All men do not cheat, trust me.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When you're dating, do you have a rotation or do you put all your eggs in one basket? I'm a very upfront person. You called my show, so don't give me no long-winded answer. Just answer. Do you? Real short.
If I make it into a real relationship, not a situationship, and the whole rigmarole and say, hey, we're going to be exclusive with each other, everybody else is gone. Everybody else.
Do you notify her of that?
Huh?
Do you notify her of that?
You have to go through the whole old school situation. Hey, would you like to be my woman? You have to ask that always to see. It's a whole thing to it. You got to go back to the old ways of relationship, the way relationship used to be. And it's, hey, I would love for you to be my woman. Would you allow,
Do you believe if there's one woman that could satisfy your every need, though?
Yes, it is. Oh my God. Yes, for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in. We really appreciate that so much for you calling in and tuning in.
Thank you.
All right, brother.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Look, I love you as my friend, but don't be pimping on my radio.
I'm not pimping, okay? I'm giving the viewers what they want.
Nobody else calling in trying to holler.
I am giving the viewers what they want.
I'm joking. Look, wait a minute. This ain't Khadijah. This ain't for the love of Khadijah. Don't be calling in and trying to holler. No, I'm just joking. But back to what I'm saying. That was good. I'm glad we got two men to call in, actually.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
we needed their opinion on it. I mean, labels will save your life. We got another call. This is going to be the call-in show. Let's go. Thanks for calling Sister Girl Radio. This is Talisha who's calling.
Hi, my name is Cornetta. How are you?
I'm good, Cornetta. Thanks for calling in. What's your question or comment?
My comment, I'm listening to you ladies, and by the way, congratulations, ladies, for having a talk show.
Thank you.
But, some of the things, of course, I don't always agree with everything that people say.
Right.
And you were talking about, is there one woman out there that can satisfy, or is there one man that can satisfy everything, in a woman?
Yes.
There are people out there that can. You just got to weed them out.
Amen.
You have to weed them out. And a man, you're saying things about men cheating and a cheating spirit. I don't quite understand what a cheating spirit is, but I feel that if you have somebody that's in your corner,
Yes.
and they're doing everything to show you that they are there for you,
Yes. Right.
that cheating will go out the window. And they can't cheat if nothing out there is available for them, men or women. Because women cheat just as much as men do.
Yes, we do.
I totally agree with you. Thank you so much for
Thank
calling in
you.
with that comment.
All right, thank you, ladies.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Can I piggyback on that for
Yeah,
a
you can
second?
piggyback on it.
Okay. She's saying you have to weed them out.
Right.
We as women, if we know we have a good man, he gets up, and we know this is scarce to find a man with a job, his own car, his own house. He's not living at mama's house. Mama is not the number one priority. He got 17 baby mamas or whatever. We find a man with this, and we show him Okay, I'm a good woman. I'm committed. I come home. I go to work. I'm not asking you to do anything for my children if children are a factor.
Right.
I cook. I clean. I'm not a nasty woman. I'm not a nasty woman. I'm this, I'm that, and yet and still I'm not enough for you. What am I lacking? What am I lacking? And this is the biggest question I have. That's why I don't look for titles. I don't want a title. I want you as a man to see me as a woman. And if I'm what you want, or I have what you want, let's make it work. If it don't work, I totally understand. Because I'm sure it's something about you that you can't do for me, whether it be financially, sexually, mentally, emotionally. It's something you're going to lack that I'm going to go find elsewhere.
Absolutely.
And that's why I feel like when you said your friend got married, you all have a bond. You all don't talk. I think that is so wrong. Why should you all give up your friendship because he got married? What threat are you to her? You clearly said, I respect your marriage. You as a woman, he know you as an individual. Yeah. She trusted her husband, should know, okay, I trust my husband. I know there's nothing sexual about Khadijah and him. They're friends. So why should you have to give up your friendship with this man because he got married?
Well, that was a decision him and I made because I don't know his wife. I've never met his wife before. And she was never, in the picture, knew about him and I in that sort of sense or way. It's just that when we saw each other, there was still that connection there. There was still that we can't be in a room together. He's just someone I'm very sexually attracted to. He's very sexually attracted to me. So in order to not do those things, to not go there, we decided to separate. So I agree with you. I have friends that are just strictly friends, that are male friends. They're strictly friends. I actually have one that I fell out with a couple of years ago because of something like that, where the wife saw me and got intimidated or got jealous. I believe that's part of it, because this is something that's always happened with me anyway, in my walk of life. But yet with the friend I was talking about, no, him and I decided to just remain friends. We're still friends. If I see him out, we're still going to be friends, but we can't be in each other's lives because we know it will go down, and I'm not that type of woman.
Wrong.
It is wrong because he's married. Yes, I am very respectful of someone's marriage. I am not the other woman. I will never be the other woman. I hold my knowingly, exactly. I just for me, because I want to be married one day, and I believe in karma, and I don't ever want that karma coming back to me. So for me, I can't do that to someone knowingly.
So Krishana.
Yes.
And please don't be long-winded when I ask this question.
I promise, because oh goodness. Okay.
So when you state that there's not one man that can satisfy all your needs, so do you plan on never getting married again?
Never will I get married again. I don't believe marriage changed anything but your last name. That's it. It does not change you as a person. It changes nothing but your last name.
So do the men that you date know that they're in a rotation?
Absolutely.
And you're in their rotation?
Absolutely.
So you wouldn't have like a lifetime companion or anything like that you would be committed to one man? You will always keep your options open?
If some godly reason he decides to send a man on this earth for me, and I'm going to be 100% honest, sex is a 90% major thing with me. If
it's
you
a 99%
satisfy me sexually, we have no relationship. I could pay my own bills. I could take care of my own kids. I get my own house. I could get my own. I don't care if I have a car or a bus. I could get to where I have to go. So I don't need you for those things. I would definitely have to want you for me to be with you, just you. I know the difference between my needs and my wants. If I want you, I want you. If I need you around, I need you around for this reason and this reason only. And it's not one person that has done that yet.
Well, I want to speak to kind of what you're talking about, Krishana, and I'm going to therapize you for a moment here. just going back to hearing what you said, I totally empathize with your situation in a sense where you're like, I will never be married again. It sounds like maybe in the past, maybe your relationships were really bad. And
no, not all.
Not all, but your marriage, was it a good marriage or was it a bad marriage?
He was a good man.
Okay.
The reason for the divorce, and I won't go into it.
Sure.
like that. But one reason he could not satisfy me sexually.
Okay.
Second reason was his attitude towards me. The third reason was he made me feel like I should appreciate him because he brought me from somewhere.
Okay.
And
But he did.
Where he brought me from, Talisha?
Chris, you told me several times that
he was. I married him for all the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
And I accepted. When I was married to him, it was for stability.
Okay.
It was for stability, and that was wrong because I was not in love with him.
Sure.
Exactly.
That's why
and he knew that.
No, he did not.
He knew that he was helping you and situations change when you bought the house and stuff like that. He knew that from where you came from to where you were at, that yes, you did kind of come up. You tell me he didn't know that at all?
I knew it when it came to the end. He knew my living situation. I wasn't in a bad living situation.
I didn't say that.
No, I wasn't in anything like that. It was like everything that he was doing was moving too fast for me. And it was like, okay, I got married when I was 22 years old. You know, I didn't know anything. All I knew was this is my whole mindset of it. I'm 22. I got a man that was going to take care of me. I don't want for nothing. I don't want this. I don't want that. But in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, the sex is horrible. I'm going, it's like
I'm cutting
his attitude sucks. You know, it's like his mama is the number one priority. So it was just like, oh no, I can't do this. And I knew I couldn't do it. And I felt like I had to show him, I don't need you to make it in this world.
But you stayed for how many years?
I was married for 7 years. I was with him for 10, married for 7. And it was time to go. Don't take my kids. Okay. I don't want this house. All I want is my car, my kids, and my clothes. That's all I wanted. But I just don't, to answer your question, Khadijah, sure. Not all the relationships that I were in were bad. They were not. Some I messed up. Some they messed up.
Okay.
What I've done is learn from them, okay, this is not what I'm going to do again. Sure. I'm not going down this path again. Okay. If I meet a man and we're talking and I can instantly pick up, oh no, this is not what you want. Now I'm looking at you to see what purpose do you serve in my life? Mm-hmm. That's how I view men, not to disrespect them, not to bring their ego down, not to hurt their feelings. But if sex does become part of it, I'm still not your boo, your bae, your love, your sweetie, I'm not none of that. I'm Krishana. You are who you are. This is what we do. Now, you get some of the cookie and want to go crazy, then you lied. So now I feel as if you lied because now all these emotions and feelings are starting to come out, and this is not what we discussed in the beginning.
I have to interject.
Snapper.
I have to interject.
I still have catfish.
I have to interject with that because it can start off like that, but then you're allowed, especially the woman, to change your mind and your feelings and emotions. So you might go into it one way, and then you might actually start to like this man, or you might actually want to like him. Everything that starts off at the beginning does not have to end that way.
It does not.
And everything that starts off in the beginning, it can possibly change, negative or positive.
Yeah,
so I don't think that you've said it several times that that's what it was talked about in the beginning. But here we are, 5 months in,
exactly,
after you said a statement, and now I'm crazy because you said one thing and now I want it to change.
Exactly. We should always be growing. I feel like in relationships,
absolutely,
there's no way that you can stay at the same place. I think that's why I asked you about your marriage, because you do seem very guarded when it comes to relationships. Like, you're very clear, which I really respect and appreciate about you, that you are very, very clear about what it is that you want and what it is that you want from this other person, not necessarily need. Like, you don't need this person, you want this person, you want this person to be in your life. I think for me, where the disconnect is that where does that take you? It sounds like you're okay with being where you're at and being, not necessarily with somebody. For me, I'm thinking about the future, especially the age I am now. And when in my 20s, I kicked it, I partied, I had a good time, but I don't want to grow old alone. I don't want to be by myself. I want someone to share my life with. And it doesn't necessarily have to be marriage. It's just someone to share my life with, someone that respects me, someone that I respect. So I don't know. For me, it's just a little bit of a disconnect there, where it's just like, where we need to grow. We have to grow. I can't stand at the same place where I was in the beginning 5 months from now, 10 months from now. And with the other guy, just to clear things up, I wasn't looking for a ring. I was just looking for what people do in a relationship. I thought we were growing towards that. And I wanted it from him because I really came to care about him. I really did.
Did you want the title? Yes or no?
I did want the title. I want the title as a girlfriend. And I think it's because I knew about the whole ex thing or whatnot. I think if I didn't know about his whole ex thing, I wouldn't have been such a push for me to have this title with this man. But I wanted clarity. I wanted him to acknowledge who I was to him. And who I was to him is, am I your lady? Am I your girlfriend? Am I your, well, I'm never nobody's side piece, but are we just cuddy buddies, you know? And he had taken things to the next level. He had taken things to a place where we were no longer cuddy buddies, but he still wanted to remain there. And so I really love the topic that you said, where Bob Marley says, the biggest coward is a man who awakens a woman's love, because this man awakened this love inside of me. I love this man to this day and has no intent on loving her. That is a coward, gentlemen. So we're
Go
trying
look
to get
it up.
real
He said
that's right. We're trying to get real men in here. So that is a definition of a coward. Always let your intentions be known. First, in the beginning of the relationship, in the middle of the relationship, at the end of the relationship. If you don't want anything to do with this woman, don't take her out on dates. Don't take her to the movies. Don't take her to weddings. Basketball games. Introduce her to your kids. Let her know you can be respectful.
Play number 11 on Mary J. Blige. No happy holiday. Christmas, you wasn't with me. Thanksgiving, you was not around.
You can be respectful to a woman and she still just be your cuddy buddy. You guys can have that mutual respect like I had with my friend for over 10 years. We had that respect for each other, and I never felt disrespected, but I knew what that was. When you take it to the next level, you have to be a man and step up.
Well, ladies, like I said, labels will save your life. This was an amazing conversation. I want to thank Krishana. I want to thank Khadijah.
Thank you.
Also, everyone who called in. I love the call-ins. Thanks everybody on Facebook Live. Before I leave, I just want to say, if you'd like to promote your business or music, please inbox me at Sister Girl Entertainment on Facebook. Next up, we have He Says, She Say with Wanda B. Follow me on Facebook at Sister Girl Entertainment. I'm Talisha, and thanks for tuning in to Sister Girl Radio on IntellectualRadio.com. Have an amazing, blessed week, y'all.
Bye.
Hey. So go ahead and do your thing as we step in. Cameras are flickering, glasses are tingling, champagne I'm sipping, VIP I'm sitting in, the whole club's rocking, everybody's watching, the way that you're dancing. You're stepping off through the club tonight like you ain't got time to waste. I can see the smile on your face, like you're the only one in the place.